Welcome back to the Manc Entrepreneur YouTube channel, and in today's live episode, I'm doing a bit of a look at the Google conference that we saw yesterday when they announced the Google Pixel 2, as well as a whole host of more Google products. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is one of my most watched videos on this channel is the video where I explain moving from the iPhone to the Google Pixel. And it's the still phone I use every single day, and by far the best phone that I've ever had. And I think I said in that past video, like I said, the link's down below to the original video. And one of the reasons why I've always got on with that phone is because a lot of the business that I do, we use a lot of Google products. We use Gmail, Google Drive, Google Keep, YouTube, obviously, and a whole host of other things. Google's incredibly useful. And for me, the way that everything just integrates on this phone with the Google Assistant, I've got to say the Google Assistant is one of the main reasons I love this phone. And obviously it can pull in emails, it can tell me, it can send me reminders about things. Also, Google Maps knows like the common places I visit and tells me expected times to get there. I just love how everything just feels so immersive and connected. Now, one of the main reasons why I didn't renew with the iPhone was due to the headphone jack. Now, again, here on the Pixel, we can see has a headphone jack right there at the top. Now, as we're going to find out in a minute, the new Pixel, the Pixel 2, doesn't have one. And that is going to be an interesting decision that I'm going to have to make as to whether upgrading to the Pixel 2 is something that I'm going to do. So anyway, before we get involved into that discussion, let's take a look at some of the other news which got announced yesterday at the Google conference. And I mean, as far as I was aware, I knew that there'd probably be an update for the Google Home, and obviously the Pixel 2 was coming out, but we got a lot more than that. And if anyone hasn't seen the conference live, I mean, they streamed it on YouTube yesterday. If you haven't seen it, I would urge you to go and watch it, because it really, whilst the presentation might not be as big or as swish as the Apple conference, I think the tech and the innovation that we saw is a lot better from Google. I think they're doing, as we're going to find out with some of these products which they've brought out, some of the ways that this is now linking together, and some of the AI and the machine learning capabilities that Google has clearly been working on for a long time is really coming to fruition. So first up, the Google Home. It's the smart speaker. It's the Amazon Echo alternative. The Echo obviously had a large advantage on the Google Home. It was the first one to market by quite a long way. But the Google Home is now, there's 3 versions of it. So you've got the standard normal home version. There's now a Google Mini, which is obviously going to go in direct competition with the Echo Dot from Amazon. And also there's the Google Home Max, which is going to go into competition with the upcoming Apple HomePod. So again, they've sort of, whilst this is maybe not like classed as innovation, they've done more with the same. They've made a cheaper version of the Home with the Home Mini, which again looks very nice, looks very, Google, and also the Google Max, which is for much more for the sort of music lovers who want the big speakers, want the tweeters, and want basically that good sound quality, who are going to be using it for more music than maybe anything else. So it's great to see those introductions to the Google lineup, the Google Home lineup. I see a Google Home in my not too distant future, I'll be honest. And again, in the conference, they talk about all the integrations that the Google Assistant now has with Google Home, and also how all of the Google devices will start being able to talk to one another. So again, very interesting. If we're talking smart home technology, this is interesting, because with Amazon, you're more likely going to get tied into the Amazon marketplace, which isn't a bad thing. But with the likes of Google, they like to partner. They partner with the best people doing what they do. So it's for me, I again, just having the Pixel, using a lot of the Google programs, the Home for me would be a better choice probably than the Amazon Echo, but we will see. I'll let you know as and when that news happens. Now, the next big surprise, or the first big surprise really, is the Pixel Book. Now, again, whether this had been leaked, it flew under my radar. I didn't know anything about this. And obviously, Google have done Chromebooks for a while. They were largely touted as a sort of quite a dumbed down laptop in terms of, you know, very light, very portable, very fast, but not great in sort of processing power. And this is where the Pixel Book comes in. As far as I can see, this is in direct competition, mainly with the Microsoft Surface laptops, you know, where because the Pixel Book can fold into a laptop, so it can fold into a tablet, can be a standalone laptop with a hard keyboard. It can be an A stand, it can be a tablet stand, a lot of different functionality with this. So that it's almost like, it seems like it's going to be MacBook level, but also could be turned into an iPad, all in one. A bit like the Microsoft Surface laptops do. This is Google's take on it. And once again, it gets the Google Assistant thrown in. And again, with their increasing capabilities of the Google Assistant. I mean, they also talked about Google Lens and how you would actually be able to, on web pages, like circle an image and then the assistant would be able to tell you what that is or pick out words from that image. Again, it's the technology which is driven by machine learning and AI is the core behind everything that Google seems to be working on right now, or certainly what they released yesterday. So again, I mean, the Pixel Book starting at $999, shipping October. It will. I mean, I imagine the basic one will be quite basic, but they have said there will be like an i7 with 16 gigs, around 512 gigabyte. That will be considerably more. But I'm happy because, as you know, I have a MacBook, and in the new MacBooks, they got rid of a lot of the sort of functionality and the things that I liked about it. So I'm very curious to see whether the Pixel Book will be similar. Will it have, you know, not as many ports, or will it be a very nice replay? And it's one of those, if I stick with the Pixel phone, which it looks like I will, then obviously having a Pixel laptop or tablet or whatever you want to call it, the Pixel Book would make sense. So again, I can see the way the conference went yesterday. I can see a lot of money going to Google from me. So one to bear in mind. And then they talked about the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL. Now, this was the thing that we were expecting. This wasn't exactly new. We knew this was going to be the main thing they wanted to talk about. Again, I'm not going to bore you with the details. If you want the best guys, go and check out Marques Brownlee and Unbox Therapy. They've already put videos out on the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL. They got hands-on with them, so you'll be able to see a lot more there. It looks nice. It looks like a nice phone. Again, there's a lot more focus on, again, very fast. The camera looks like it's going to be market leading once again. The Pixel was the market leading last year. Looks like Pixel 2 is going to be the same. OLED screen. So the Pixel 2 the XL has a slightly higher resolution. The Pixel normal one, obviously full HD screen, blah, blah, blah. All looks very nice. And again, it's more about, again, it's rather than sort of gimmicky things, the Pixels just try to put clever software and hardware into the product. So again, the assistant just gets better, but also little like nice things. Like if you've got music playing if you're in a bar or something and music is playing, the microphone is always listening because obviously it's listening for OK Google. See? And because the microphone is always listening, it is basically saying it picks up the music that is going on in the background and displays it to you. So you know what the name of the song and the artist is at all times. That's, again, I'd say it's almost a gimmick, but just the other day I was at a wedding and I said, oh, what's this song? I love this song. And by the time I'd realized I didn't have the Shazam app or whatever it's called, the song had ended, so I had to go and ask the DJ, whereas this would have solved that problem. Granted, it's a very random, small problem, but again, it's quite a nice feature, and using the existing technology which the phone already has. A whole host of other things, obviously portrait mode, the depth of field on the camera, again, is the reason why it's so well. The optical and enhanced image stabilization, again, other great features. You've seen me do vlogs on the camera, on the phone camera before. They're pretty good quality. So again, and the fact again that if you have a home, you have a Pixel Book and a Pixel phone, they can all communicate with each other. So again, this sort of smart home thing is becoming much more of a reality, and it seems to work a lot easier when these products are all in the same brand. I know Apple, it certainly did with Apple. Looks like Google is going the same way. Another nice surprise was the Pixel Buds. Now, that was, for me, that's the challenging one for me, because it's almost going to be hypocritical if I get the Pixel 2 because it doesn't have a headphone jack. And that was one of the main reasons why I left the iPhone. Since then, I have properly fallen in love with Android and the native Android that you get on Google. So it's hard as to whether I come to the realization that it's just the way everything's going. Bluetooth wireless earphones are the future, and I'm going to have to come to terms with that sooner or later. But the Pixel Buds were impressive for a number of reasons. Now, we've obviously seen the AirPods that, again, Apple do, and again, very cool, look very nice. But I was blown away, and again, I urge you to go and watch the conference live, or go and watch the recording of it on YouTube, and the demonstration that they do with the Pixel Buds, because I mean, they are Bluetooth, but they have a strap, so again, less likely to get lost. But they did a live real-time translation demonstration. Now, again, the Buds have Assistant built into them, and they have this fantastic demonstration where there was an English speaker and a Swedish speaker having a conversation in both their native languages, and the Pixel Buds were doing real-time translation. So the microphone was picking up what the other person was saying and translating it in that person's ears, and then they would reply in English, and it would do exactly the same the other way around. And like I said, it is in like incredible real time, to the point of like a 1 or 2 second delay, which would be a normal, listening and replying time frame. It's incredible. I was blown away by that. Obviously, we've seen phone apps do something similar over the time. Where you talk into something and show someone on the screen. This takes it to the next level. And again, it's that further development of how technology is now using voice in a way which we perhaps not anticipated before. Again, as far as I know, Apple AirPods don't have that. Don't have Siri built in and can't do that sort of thing. If they do, please correct me down below, but I was blown away by that yesterday. I thought that is one of the things which I think is going to make a big impact around the world. Maybe not initially, but over time, that is certainly technology that is you take away the translation headache. We've all been in a foreign country at some point and had to have that awkward point. And, being English, we tend to shout louder in English. It's not really the best way to do it. So if you had the ability for real-time translation in your ear, that's incredible. So yeah, very, very interesting. What else? We saw AR stickers. They didn't spend a lot of time on this. It seemed a little bit of a gimmick, the way they displayed it. Obviously, in some sort of competition with the Animojis that we saw from Apple, not a big deal. But I do think, obviously, they talked briefly about ARCore, which is Google's team that develops AI technologies, augmented reality technologies. And there is a huge potential in e-commerce for AR. And I think Google are obviously on the right track with this. I've already shown up. It looked very good. But we will see how... I'm intrigued to see how businesses will be able to use AR. I think there's some clever ways to use that coming up. And finally, the last sort of big piece was the Google Clips, and it's this little camera, which once again uses machine learning to take photos, but of the sort of solving the problem that there's always someone who's not in the photo, or that time when you don't want to have like the selfie arm in the picture, you want more of like a portrait style setting or a family picture. This Google Clips thing seems to be an answer to that. And it, like I said, it looks like it's about that big. Apparently it's going to retail for $249, which sounds a lot for what it is. I don't recall seeing the resolution of the camera quality, but the main part is it automatically learns when to take photos. Again, it's a new product. It's innovative. I don't think we've seen anything like this before. It's basically a camera which learns when you want it to take a picture, when you can all be in it. Again, I'm not sure. I've tried to think like last night and this morning of when I would actually use it. I'm not overly sure I felt the need yet. But again, it's a machine learning camera. This is Google saying this is the stuff we're working on. This is the level we're operating at. We're looking at using computers and technology to solve problems, no matter how big or small they may be. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's some very cool and clever and innovative ways that you could use the little Google Clips camera. We will see. But again, for me, it was just innovation. The Pixel Buds innovation, the Clips innovation, the Google Lens with sort of image machine learning once again, innovation. I was very, very impressed with the Google conference yesterday. Will I move to the Pixel 2? I'd be very tempted to. It's hard, obviously, like I said, with the headphone thing. I know for most people the headphone jack isn't even an issue, but for me it sort of was, and maybe still is. I'm not tied into a contract, so I can pretty much change my phone as and when. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. Of all the phones I've seen, of the iPhone 8, of the Google, of the Samsung 8, if I was going to change my phone, it would definitely be the Pixel 2, 100%. I've had the iPhone. I've seen people with Samsungs. I know my sister has one. I've used them. I just love the Pixel. It's like it knows me, and that is one of the greatest assets. I think for a lot of people it might freak them out. For me, I sort of embrace it. I think there's a lot of ways in which the phone helps me organize my life. Like, for example, I know I've got a meeting this evening around 7 o'clock, and I know my phone will give me a warning 10 minutes before I should set off, because it's calculated that it knows automatically from my calendar where I'm going. It's calculated traffic on the route. It knows what time I need to set off to get there. And that is the technology which I have now gotten used to on a daily basis. And for me, Apple never really integrated that well. That's, I didn't use like the Apple calendars. That's the problem. I was between two systems. I was using Google a lot, and obviously had the phone and the tablet and the laptop, which was all Apple. And now I sort of see the benefit of having everything work together. And I think for me, utilizing Google as the means to do that just makes sense. And it's by far the most immersive experience I've had with a phone. Google, if you are watching this and you want to send me one for free, I'd be absolutely over the moon if you decided to do that. Someone accused me of that in the original Pixel video I did. Said, oh, you're only saying this because Google paid you to. I wish that was the case. I wish, with my 380 subscribers, I wish Google really thought that it was a good investment on their part. However, I can assure you it's not. I would have to, this is all not paid for, not sponsored, obviously. But I genuinely love the product and I'm a big fan of Google. So with that said, I hope you found this video interesting, if not useful. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you were more blown away by the iPhone 10, or you're a Samsung fan, or Huawei, they're doing exciting things, or if you too are a Google Pixel guy, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. I've never met, no, I met one other person at a conference about 7 months ago with one of these. None of my friends have one, except my dad. My dad now has one. My dad got a new phone literally the other day, and that was he was asking my advice, and I went to the Pixel. So yeah, me and my dad are the only people I know who have the Google Pixel. So let me know if you are one of the Pixel crew and what you think. And would you be, again, tempted to go to the Pixel 2? Interesting. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next video, whenever that may be. But as always, any questions, let me know. I will get back to you as soon as possible. I look forward to seeing you soon.